History remembers many nations, empires have risen and fallen, and whole civilizations have vanished. Yet one small people have survived the trials of time, the Jewish people. Their story is not merely one of survival, it intertwines with a larger narrative, the story of God and humanity. The Bible unfolds this tale as a family saga. In this narrative, God chose one nation to be his own, Israel. This choice, however, was not due to their strength or righteousness. The Book of Deuteronomy explicitly states that God's affection was not because of Israel's numbers but rooted in his love and the promise he made. In the book of Exodus, God refers to Israel as his firstborn son, emphasizing the unique responsibility that comes with such a relationship, like that of a beloved child in a family. But being chosen did not equate to being flawless. The Bible acknowledges Israel's shortcomings, they were held accountable for their actions. In the book of Amos, God states that despite being chosen, Israel would face punishment for their sins. This responsibility came with a knowledge of God, and when Israel turned away, history bore witness to dire consequences, the destruction of Jerusalem and the exile of the people, scattered across the globe. The Bible doesn't shy away from these failures, it presents them honestly, affirming that faith is not about perfection but about a faithful God who, despite everything, remains committed. Remarkably, despite centuries of exile, persecution, and hatred, the Jewish people have not been erased. They endured the fall of empires and faced unimaginable horrors, including the Holocaust, where 6 million lives were lost. Yet they survived. This resilience resonates with the verse in Romans, which declares that the gifts and calling of God are irrevocable. When God makes a covenant, he does not forget it. Into this ongoing narrative stepped a man named Jesus. His life is chronicled in the Gospels, and he was born into a Jewish family, surrounded by Jewish disciples. However, not everyone embraced his claim as the Messiah. Some leaders condemned him, ultimately leading to his execution by Roman authorities. Yet this moment was foreseen within God's divine plan, as Peter asserts in Acts, indicating that Jesus' sacrificial death was meant to offer forgiveness to the world. Following Jesus' resurrection, his followers began to share this message beyond Israel, and an unexpected phenomenon occurred. Many from different nations, referred to as Gentiles, came to believe. The Apostle Paul illustrated this expansion with an image of an olive tree in Romans, where Israel represented the tree, and Gentile believers were branches grafted into it, symbolizing a larger family of God. However, Paul cautioned Christians against arrogance, warning in Romans not to boast over others. The roots of Christian faith lie not in Rome or Europe but in Israel. As early Christian thinker Augustine observed, the New Testament is veiled in the Old, and the Old is unveiled in the New. The Bible speaks truthfully about everyone. Israel faltered at times, and Christians have their failings too. Faith does not necessitate perfection, it thrives on growth and transformation. The book of Hebrews reminds that God disciplines those he loves, indicating that correction is a form of his care. Additionally, the Bible emphasizes that God has not forsaken Israel. Paul poses the question in Romans, asking if God rejected his people, and answers firmly, by no means. Many Christians harbor the hope that, in time, many Jewish individuals will recognize Jesus as the Messiah. However, the deeper message transcends any single group. God is assembling a family from every nation. Some are called first, while others come later, but the invitation remains constant, to walk with God. Thus, as history unfolds, the next chapter of this story is still being written.